This message is for the person who is still replaying a rejection in their mind. For some of you, this could have been a romantic rejection. For others of you, this could have been a job. For others of you, this could have been a friendship. For others of you, this could have been an opportunity that you were so sure was yours, was going to be yours. But the reason that this message is finding you, it's to serve as a reminder and as a confirmation that this was never about your worth, or it was never about you being good enough. And this message is finding you so that you can shift your perspective around rejection itself. What if this rejection was protection from something that you couldn't see yet? So today in this reading, I want to look at what actually happened here, what might have been hidden beneath the surface, and what spirit, God, universe may have been removing before it removed you. So as always, with any reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's go ahead and look at the truth here. For some of you, I feel strongly that this might have been a romantic rejection, but that doesn't have to be the case for all of you. This is just about rejection in any form. So it's, again, not getting the job, being ghosted, losing a friend, being passed over from something, an opportunity falling through. Let's look at the story first. What actually happened energetically here? Judgment, is this upright or reversed? Okay. 7 of coins, upright or reversed? Reversed. So for most of you, I'm getting that if this rejection had been a yes, regardless of what it was, even if you don't realize it yet, it would have stopped you from stepping into your highest potential. It would have stopped you from growing on some level. It would have served as some kind of unnecessary karmic lesson. And I say unnecessary because whatever this was, whatever it was going to teach you, is something that you've already been through. It's something that you've already learned a lesson there, which is why there was no need to repeat history. And for some of you as well, if this was something romantic, I'm picturing that there would have been a lack of growth. A lack of growth in general, okay? But specifically in a romantic connection, this is giving me this energy of a person where there's a lack of effort. There may have been effort on your part, but it wasn't equal. This can represent that this connection would have required growth that wouldn't have happened because one or the both of you wasn't fully ready to step into that growth. And it's like as much as you felt something was worth the effort here, another person didn't share the same vision as you. And eventually, all of these things, like let's say this rejection would have been a yes, right? Eventually, all of these things that I'm mentioning would have been brought to the light, even if at first it seemed like you were going to get some kind of fresh start here. Your guides are showing it would have been a false start, okay? It wouldn't be what it seems. And the Tower reversed is confirming this. The Tower reversed speaks of a narrow escape. It speaks of a disaster being averted, something being a near miss. And had this rejection been a yes, you would only have been delaying the inevitable, that things were not going to be able to be built on stable ground for the long term, or this isn't something that would have lasted long term. Let's see what else wants to come through. Yeah, and for some of you, when you felt this rejection, you could have wondered, what is it about me that caused this rejection? But it wasn't about you. It had little to do with you. And it had everything to do with the situation simply not being for you, with the situation simply not being in your highest good. Even if the situation itself felt unjust, this was actually karmic justice. And that's why it was a no in the first place. It wouldn't have brought more harmony into your life. It wouldn't have brought more balance into your life. It wouldn't have brought more fairness into your life. This person wouldn't have moved with integrity. You would have had to face for some of you, unnecessary consequences due to a yes here. You would have had to face unnecessary legal matters, legal issues due to a yes here. Okay, I want to see what you were being protected from here. What was Spirit protecting you from? They cannot be more clear. Here we have vampire. Something or someone serving as an energetic vampire. Something or someone draining you of your life force energy. This, whatever it was going to deplete your energy, and it was going to make you codependent on whatever this is. It was going to feel like an enslavement, okay? This was something or someone who was going to take way more than they were going to give. Yeah, and this is someone who they're very to themselves, but not with the light attributes of the hermit. This is someone in the shadow attributes of the hermit. Like, I'm not going to help others, and I'm not going to be there for others unless there is something beneficial to me. Destroyer. Can they be any more obvious? This person, this situation might have destroyed your true dreams or potential, and the universe wasn't going to let it happen. Whatever it is that you were being protected from, it was so not going to be worth the experience of having to live through it. This rejection, it wasn't punishment, not one bit. It was redirection. And this is teaching you that not everything that leaves you is a loss or meant to be taken as a loss. Sometimes when we can look out from the outsider's perspective and see the bigger picture, we can see that sometimes it's alignment finally stepping in. Okay. So I want to pull some angel messages here as well. What do the angels have to share about this? your angels are showing that you will know this had to happen because they will be sending you signs that they have other plans in store for you, more aligned and divine plans. And really, with this card, look for a sign. Your angels are wanting you to go deeper. You can do so with this rejection. You could do so with another rejection that you will face in your life. But this is saying that the moment you're having to face that, the moment you're going to have to face a difficult circumstance where something didn't go your way, your angels want you to dig deep and search for the positive in that situation, even if it's not something that you can see yet or that you can see instantly. They're saying if you look hard enough, you will see that this wasn't so bad, that the situation isn't as hopeless as it seems. For some of you, you're being called to take care of yourself spiritually after facing rejection. So for some of you, this could include meditation, trusting that meditation will bring you answers. This could be spending time in nature. This could be listening to positive subliminals. This could be reading a self-help book, a spiritual text. This could be journaling, scripting, and remain positive. This is what your angels want you to remember most of all, that even if temporarily the situation feels heavy and unsatisfying, there's a need to go back to the idea that it is temporary and that you can remain positive, hopeful, and optimistic that even if this unwelcome outcome or change isn't favorable, that doesn't mean that the next thing that happens will not be favorable, will not be welcome, will not be the outcome that you want. This is about needing to keep going, needing to keep moving forward, no matter how many rejections you face in this life. Because the person that keeps moving forward, the person that keeps going and keeps trying, they have reached a point in their consciousness where they have enough self-awareness to understand that no matter who or where the rejection is coming from, it is never reflecting their worth. It's simply reflecting that rejection is a part of life. And that there's not really a need to take it so personally, but to look at the situation from a balanced perspective and think about, okay, now how am I going to accept and adapt to this change? What do I need to do now to care for myself? What do I need to do now to keep myself from spiraling? How can I free myself from these ideas that are draining my energy and stopping me from moving forward? How can I free myself from these ideas that are keeping me stuck on this rejection? Now I want to look at what role this rejection has played in your evolution. So I'm getting that this situation was meant to awaken you to your powers of manifestation and alchemy, your ability to be able to alchemize yourself out of any shitty circumstance, out of any shitty situation, but also needing to learn how to use your free will to do so, needing to teach your mind how to keep it moving after you reach a dead end. Because a lot of people in this world, they take rejection so personally to the point where they can get stuck on that rejection for a long period of time. Some people even experience it for years. And that's not what God, the universe, your higher self wants for you. It's not what it wants for you at all. A quote that is coming up for me, it goes, "If nobody wants you, you are free." That is from one of my favorite songs by SZA. I believe the song is called Far, and she's talking to, I believe his name is Sadhguru, and she's telling him, like, I've been dealing with rejection and I've been taking it personally, and he responds with that, "If nobody wants you, you are free." And so the message here is that in your evolved state, you will be able to look at any rejection and see it as freedom. And you will be able to see it as whatever it's meant to be seen as. For some of you, you are meant to see this moment as a catalyst. Some of you may see it as a karmic activator. Some of you may see it as a mirror to something within you that still needs to be accepted. Some of you could have seen it as a shadow triggering the parts within you that still need to be healed, still need to be dealt with, still need to be brought to the light. For some of you, this could look like it was a test of boundaries, a lesson in self-worth, a test of intuition, a test of discernment. Nothing and no one that you are rejected by is random. That rejection is always meant to activate something within you. But when we are dwelling in the grief, in the sadness, in the loss, it's hard to see things. And I say dwelling, not feeling. It's hard to see things from that higher lens, from that higher perspective. And that's why my advice is always feel the heavy emotions, allow them to be what they want to be, which is energy and motion, and allow them to pass. Do not, whatever you do not dwell in them. Dwelling leads to depression. Dwelling leads to a loss of motivation. Dwelling leads to you feeling directionless. And a lot of the times, we have to face these unwelcome changes, these unwelcome circumstances, because they trigger growth within us that we might not have chosen consciously had it not happened. And for some of you, there's something coming through about physical movement as well. So let's say that this wouldn't have been a no, it would have been a yes. For some of you, it's that this would have prevented you from finally aligning with the love that you deserve. For some of you, it's that this would have prevented you from moving to a city, moving to a home, moving to a country that you've always wanted to. For some of you, this would have stopped you from applying to a better position or applying to a better company or starting your own business. And just as a little side note, I don't usually talk about my personal life in my readings. But if you're here this long, you're probably here to stay. So I don't mind sharing with you. In my personal life, had I not... So let's just go back a little bit. I had applied and tried really hard to get certain positions, to get into certain companies when I was still working in marketing. And I thought I wanted these things so badly that I tried so hard to get there, to get in. And I did. But being in the environment, it wasn't living up to my expectations. And it was actually draining me of my ability to continue dreaming, to continue growing, to continue envisioning more. And I felt stuck. And there were times that I cried waking up having to go to those jobs, even though at one point I really wanted them. But I knew that my soul was redirecting me to something else, but I wasn't leaving. And it wasn't until I got laid off. It wasn't until I was made to feel unimportant that I finally woke up to the fact that I need to start my own business. And had that not happened, I would not be here sharing these things with you guys. I would not be here 3 years later, finally being satisfied in a job that I love. But during those moments of rejection, because I wasn't seeing things from a higher lens, I thought it was the end of the world. I thought I would never find stability. I thought I would never get to be happy. But the universe, God, was preparing me for something much bigger and much better and more aligned with my authentic truth. Okay, let's see what else. I want to see another thing you were meant to awaken through this. What is another thing that how resilient you are, how it's possible for you to make bold moves, how it's possible for you to set higher standards, how it's possible for you to move independently, how it's possible for you to look at things through the lens of emotional maturity, how it's possible for you to detach with love, understanding that there is better on the other side. This could have taught you how to set better boundaries for next time. This could have taught you how to trust your intuition and how to validate yourself when someone else or an external circumstance wasn't validating you. This wasn't just about losing something or someone. This was about you becoming someone. You getting to finally embrace your highest potential. So now I want to go ahead and pull you one final message here. Let's go ahead and see. I'm going to pull one from the Magical Spirit Oracle. What does this collective need to know to close out this reading? Here we have the Shaman. This card speaks of lunatic energy, of insights, and of the cosmos. So let's go ahead and see what your guides want to share with you. For some of you, the number 30 could be significant, also 333. It says, pulling the Shaman card can be a call to embrace more of your crazy side, or to tune into it more at this time. You may be judged by others, but what you gain is far superior to their disapproval, to their rejection. The world needs more mystics and shamans to show us the soul of the world, to point us away from the suffocation of too much conformity and stagnation. The energy behind this card is that of dreams, ideas, and visions, especially spiritual and creative ones. Express, act on, create, and share what you are receiving from the mysterious. Harness your power of insight and do not let it fade away and dim within you. In other words, use it or lose it. The more you do, the stronger it will become. So that is what I have for you guys. If you want to go ahead and view the extended reading, I'm going to link that down below. And yeah, I will see you next week in the next reading.